Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. I hope you had a spectacular weekend and you were able to relax a little bit. Today in social studies, we just want to review with you your assignment for Ruth Bader Ginsburg and go over some of those answers. There's a little bit of confusion on some of those. And to remind you, please turn that assignment in if you haven't already. It is worth 10 points. A late grade is better than a 0. Please turn that assignment in. Even if it's late, that is better than a 0. Okay, moving over to the article. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that and get the article up. So this was the article that you were to read and then you were to answer these questions. So the first question talks about the impact of Justice Ginsburg's impact on the Supreme Court and the nation. And most kids had no trouble going back up to this section right here and reading about her accomplishments and the things that she stood for over time. So this is kind of going to get into question 2, which is to say that Justice Ginsburg is known as a liberal and a champion of progressive causes, and she was someone who voted in favor of eliminating gender pay gaps and in favor of same-sex marriages and in favor of all people having the right to vote and in favor of women being able to join the military. Those are some of the things that she worked on in her tenure as a Supreme Court justice. And so those are the things that you guys added for number 1, and that's great. Which leads us to number 2, what effect is Ginsburg's death likely to have on the makeup of the court? Well, that comes into play with the fact that the president gets to nominate the seat for justice. Right here we can see that this is a space that needs to be filled. There are 9 justices that sit on the bench at one time, an odd number, so that when they vote on a decision, there is an odd number to break the tie. And since the president gets to nominate the Supreme Court justice, he is going to nominate someone who has beliefs like he does. So you can see there's conservatives and liberals, liberal, conservative. He is going to want someone that has his beliefs. And we know that President Trump has a conservative belief. We can see that example right here even. And so he is going to want to nominate someone with those kinds of beliefs. We have an election coming up, however, and many people believe that we should wait until after the election to have that president make the nomination. And that person may be a person who's a Democrat and have more liberal points of view, and then that person will want a more liberal person to fill his position. So that is the debate. Should President Trump be able to nominate a more conservative person, or should President Trump need to wait until after the election in November? And this is not an uncommon debate. This happened with President Obama and President Trump. When President Barack Obama was leaving, there was a position open, and he ended up having to, or he wasn't able to get the seat filled with his nomination, and it waited until after President Trump came into office. So this is not an uncommon thing because, as you can imagine, and as you would and as I would, we want someone with our similar beliefs to fill that position. And so we are going to nominate in that kind of respect. That's exactly what's happening with the presidents. And so there's a little bit of a debate there. Finally, number 3, we've already kind of answered this one. Who nominates the Supreme Court justices? That is the president, but it has to be confirmed by the Senate. That means they have to vote to agree on that. And then number 4 was just an opinion question in terms of do you think about some things. So we're going to let that one go for today and not discuss that one over this video. Back to our agenda for today. The next thing you need to do is to work on the question of the day. Last week, Friday, Ms. Richards taught you about primary and secondary sources. Open your notes back up, reread your notes, remind yourself all about the primary and secondary sources, and write down 3 examples of each, primary and secondary. You can use her examples or you can make your own. Either way, please turn those into us this morning. After this, you are going to be introduced to a special guest. During the special guest interview, would you please make sure you're sitting up, facing forward, and listening to the ideas of our special guest. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday, and we will see you on Tuesday.